Hey, my beautiful Cancers. Christina here with Ginger Mama Tarot coming at you with your July extended Tarotscope. I can't believe we're in July, but I wanted to start by saying happy birthday. We are officially in Cancer season. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a beautiful birthday season. As I was channeling for all of you, it was interesting. It was like an older house or a building with multiple staircases, like different ways to go up the stairs. And the further you went up, it was like you kind of go back down, you weren't sure. And then some of the corridors were very dark, others were very well lit. And there were butterflies around, colorful butterflies. And even when it was dark, it was like suddenly a butterfly would come out, like I think it was like a moth, but then it was a colorful butterfly. And so I love that. Last month I was talking about with a lot of you, and by the way, I'd like to clarify, this is the divine feminine Cancer Tarotscope, okay? I'm going to do a separate divine masculine Tarotscope. If you're unsure of who you are, we both embody both. However, most of us are imbalanced in those energies. If you're more avoidant, you run, you ghost, you self-isolate when there's a problem, you're more of a masculine energy. Doesn't matter your body, you guys. If you're someone that's more anxiously attached, codependent, you're likely more of a feminine energy. You can watch both to see the difference if you'd like, and you might take information from both. But I want to clarify that before I begin. I meant to say that. I'm new to this this month. But anyways, so this is for the feminines. So like it was like you keep finding, I feel like, truths about yourself, new things about yourself, but also about the world around you, about others. You're kind of like, oh, I never thought that about that person, or oh, that's a different way to look at it. And you know, you guys are so compassionate and empathetic that it makes sense, right? That you're able to kind of like get into the minds of people in that way. And that's like a superpower. Some other things I want to talk about. I was taking notes as I had this, but you know, your motto as Cancers is I feel. And so many of you get kickback from this. Like you're like, oh, people think I'm too emotional and this and that. Emotions are a superpower. I want you to understand that as long as you know how to process and channel them appropriately. And so I think a lot of you need to learn from, like, on the zodiac wheel, we have Gemini before you and then Aries. And Gemini, with that logical thinking, it's like pulling in a little bit of that sometimes as well. But also Aries, that idea of self. Like I think sometimes Cancers, you're over giving to other people and you need to focus on what you need. Pull back and be like, what do I really want, need, desire? What am I worthy of? Yeah. Don't become self-sacrificing. I was writing that down for you. Focus on self-love, self-care, what it is you need to do in the month of July for you. Some important dates before we get going with the cards. We have a full moon in Capricorn on the 13th. And you, divine feminine Cancers, are cardinal energies. And cardinal energies are really go, go, go. But Capricorn energy is also a cardinal energy. And so I really believe this full moon is going to like propel you into some new chapter, new awakening, new aha moment. It could be around business or relationship, we'll see. But I think that's important for you. Also, Venus is in Cancer on the 17th, which could definitely be a really sweet, beautiful encounter possibly, but it could also be just an emotional time for you, like a time to release and purge. And again, that comes very close to this full moon energy. So that's going to be a really interesting time this month if you want to plan ahead. And then by the end of the month, we have the new moon going into Leo on the 28th, as we are ending the month out with Leo season beginning. And so that's going to be that really big kick in that, you know, okay, we're over a little bit of this purging emotionally. But yeah, so also the last thing I want to point out about that is I want you to also think about how you can channel these emotions. A lot of Cancers like to channel this into art or music. And if that's not your thing, I was picturing someone like gardening, or maybe on a bike ride, or just like swimming, like that water energy, just anything that you can set the intent. You can always do this when you do a physical activity or an artistic activity or creative endeavor, is say, I want this to be how I release this. Whatever that is for you. A past shadow, a past pain, a past heartbreak, a fear and insecurity, a limiting belief within yourself. Set that intention, okay? All right, we got the cards. They're flying out. Let's see what we have here. Looks like we always do. We have a story. How am I doing on time? Okay, we're good. We're good. 4:44 as I looked at that. Also, repeating numbers. Pay attention to those. Many people see those. It's just a sign that you're on the right track. You're getting in flow. In the beginning, a lot of times you see 10, 10, 11, 11. But oftentimes, as you begin to ascend, you start to see things like 644, 322. There's a repeating number at the end. That's really great. Or you see mirroring numbers, 101, 202, 303. Those are great too, okay? There's nothing you need to do with it. If you want to look it up, you can. It just means you're doing a great job. You're following your highest self, you're connecting with the divine, and continue forward. Okay, so right now I feel like you've had some type of awakening. Page of Cups, you're feeling very insecure though. You're unsure if you're making the right decision. You're unsure if your intuition is right. You're kind of like, it's like that, like maybe I should ask a few other people. Don't do that, okay? The moon here. This is a card all about intuition. And I hear a helicopter going off outside. Your intuition is always correct, okay? I'm telling you, it's your hotline to God. It is. The universe, whatever you want to call it, okay? So don't doubt that. Whatever the situation is, work, relationship, whatever it might be. We do have a 10 of Pentacles reversed here, which tells me there could be some exhaustion and just tiredness, wounded energy around finances, where you feel like things were supposed to go a certain way, or you had this master grand plan of like what you wanted to do and it just didn't pan out and you're frustrated. And I tell people, focus on not being in a scarcity mindset. Do not believe that there's not enough opportunity for others or money or finances or resources. Journal about that, write about that, maybe reflect on your childhood. How was money handled? Was there stress around that? Was it a very like controlling energy where it's like save, 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 hoard, hoard, hoard? Or was it overgiving? Was there, what was it? And just reflect on that, because sometimes that can be a block to us getting into a career path that really brings us fulfillment, right? And also just trust. I need some of you to, that belief that like money flows easily to me. Money flows out. Like I give when I need to, I get when I need to, and balancing that, not over giving, not overspending, but also calling it in. It's coming for me. I know it's coming. It's going to work out. And then taking the action steps that you need to take to make that happen. And that might even be just revising a budget, getting real with yourself, especially that Capricorn full moon in the middle of the month. That is a great time to get like that Capricorn energy of like, I'm going to ground myself and be very logical in my finances. Okay. I think that's going to be a really great time right around that full moon in a couple of weeks for you to do that. Okay. Again, the High Priestess comes out. I feel like you're really, you've done work the last month or so, and you're really trying to tap into your intuition and your gut feeling, that sacral chakra. Three of Wands reverse tells me there's likely not going to be much travel this month, or that if you are planning a trip, you might want to just really, again, tap into your intuition, your finances, all of this. Are you sure that's the best option right now? I just sense that there's something about travel that you need to possibly pump the brakes on, okay? Or maybe the people you were going to travel with, you need to reevaluate that. Three of Pentacles here. This can be about collaborating with others. It's not to say you can't go, but be mindful. And we have an Emperor reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed. So this could be an imbalanced masculine energy in your life that you're considering a trip with. And this happens a lot, especially with counterparts, soulmates, things like that. They will plan these trips, and sometimes the masculine will either cancel beforehand, pull back, just make excuses why they won't plan the trip. And it's really weird. It's not good, and that hurts the feminine. Or I see cases where they do go on the trip and then the masculine ends up player energy. They're like rubbing in that person's face that they're with other people. It just gets really messy. And when you're on a trip like that with someone, you can't escape that very easily. And so many divine feminines, the Fool here, feel very foolish. They feel very frustrated. Understand that you should not be planning or discussing a traveling trip with someone, the two of you, if you're not in a committed dynamic. It's one thing if you're friends, but if you have any feelings towards this person whatsoever, be very, very mindful, because a lot of times these masculines will try to friend zone you, but clearly the energy exchange says that there is a deeper connection there. And that's like crossing a boundary, and you need to ask yourself, am I okay with that boundary being crossed? If you're sharing intimate space and time and travel, it just is not the best idea unless you are in a committed situation. Page of Swords reversed is telling me many of you really need to get off the internet. I know that's hard to do, but if you can like set a limit, like I know this is hard, and like it doesn't have to be down to the minute, but like set a minute, my cat meowing, or if, hang on, she wants in here. I gotta stop. Okay, I can't leave Kitty out. So this is Shira. I know, she's so cute. But anyways, maybe animals are important too. Like, take some time this month to like try to get off the internet a little bit and focus, like this Four of Swords here. Lay down, sit in stillness and meditation. Like, try to really understand what it is you want. Oh my gosh, I got cat hair all over me. That normally doesn't happen. Yeah, like I feel like that energy too. I know this is funny. 1:44 on the clock as I say this. They're like, say it. It's almost like I feel like you have that. You have these little hairs in your aura, in your energy of like all these different people, family, friends, past jobs. And it's like, you got to sit there and really get real about, what is this about? Like, how do I release this? Like, do I want this on me? Because it's like, it's bothering you in some way. And the only way to do that is to pull back and to get into stillness. And again, it doesn't have to be long. I mean, if you can set aside 10 or 15 minutes a day, and people always say, how do I meditate, Christina? Don't let anyone tell you how to meditate. You decide how to meditate. Meditation to me looks like I turn off technology and I lay there and I close my eyes. And every thought I have, I'm like, okay, yep, I hear you. Yep, that's not important. Yep, yep, yep. And I keep doing it until I get to a place where suddenly I feel very, very calm and still. And then a lot of times I'll have visions or images come in that are just beautiful. And if you see lots of like cloudy colors or anything, look up what those aura colors mean. That can be telling you something. And don't push it. Don't try too hard. Just like set an intention. I want to release this. And having those thoughts come in, you just observe them. You're like, interesting. I wonder why I thought about that. And you move forward. And then you let the next one come in, or the emotions. Even when you're meditating, you might feel like crying. Cry. Okay? If you feel like turning on a sound bath, you can YouTube sound baths, or TikTok has great ones, or whatever. Turn on a sound bath. Whatever you want to do. If you want to do a guided meditation, you can. But I find doing meditations on your own is actually more powerful. That's just my belief. But yeah, this Eight of Wands reversed, I feel like in the month of July, you're supposed to slow down. Slow down. Get real about what it is you want in your finances, what it is you want in a relationship, pausing on that travel, or if you were planning a trip in the future with someone, just pausing on it, just saying, I'm going to hit the pause button until the end of the month, and get real clear with yourselves. It's totally okay to do that. Yeah, some of you, it's like you've been looking to the past a lot for guidance, and I want you to look to the future, but I also want you to, in that meditation state, look to the past and say, okay, what in the past worked for me? And what just doesn't work? What cycles do I keep doing over and over again that are not working, not serving me? Not other people, but you. And release that and say, okay, I'm gonna do something different now. Yeah, because you're in your mind too much over that. You're trapped. You're like, you don't realize like there's all these swords, and like it's like, oh, I feel so stuck in this loop of what I always do. And we're the only people that can break that. And it's really hard to do. Trust me. Even me with my business, there are so many days where I'm like, I just don't know if I can do it today. God, I'm tired, and my kids and this and that. And God's like, get up, woman. We're going to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I am. My higher self and everything, right? So you got this. And hey, what do we have flying out here? Two of Cups upright. I feel like if you can do that this month, I personally don't think this is going to occur till later in the month. It could be around that Venus in Cancer energy we talked about on the 17th, but I feel like this is more the end of the month as we go into Leo season. That, yeah, my crown tingling there. Like, I feel like that's when you're going to have clarity on maybe who your person is and if you want to keep that connection or not. But I don't feel like you're going to really understand fully until then. Yeah, some of you are with like a false divine counterpart, false twin flame, false like relationship that needs to end, or that this person's not committing to you in the way that you need. They're not giving you clarity in the way that you need. And you need to push that aside. If someone cannot pour into you and speak with you clearly and communicate with you clearly, they're energetically putting swords in your back. And you need to fully release them, okay? Fully release them. I know that is so painful and hard, especially when you really are like, someone's my twin or my counterpart. But really reflect and ask yourself, would this person continue to do this to me? And sometimes when we feel energy, we get confused. We think it's someone when actually it's a past energy we need to clear. And especially if you've had multiple sexual partners, you need to clear each of those partners. Set the intent. You can clear that through intention, through energy work. You can clear it through self-pleasure. But I'm telling you, clear the energy. Okay, loves? It's going to be okay. Please don't be sad. Don't keep looking to the past. Look to the future. I promise you, the month of July, it's going to be a lot of work, but I feel like by Leo season next month, you're going to be so happy you did it. You're going to be like, yes, 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 yes. I love you, Cancers. Happy birthday.